It's America's best-selling rifle, with an estimated 20 million in civilian hands, yet it remains deeply divisive. Celebrated by some as a symbol of freedom and self-defense, it is viewed by others as a weapon emblematic of the nation's most contentious debates. The AR-15 is not just a firearm. It is a cultural flashpoint, a masterclass in engineering that has become a lightning rod for America's deepest beliefs and fears. But how did the lightweight rifle, born from the aerospace industry, become the most polarizing object in the country? The AR-15 was born from a fundamental shift in military doctrine, a lesson written in the blood of World War II. The US Army's analysis of battlefield data revealed a critical truth: the age of the long-range marksman was over. Most combat took place at ranges under 300 yards, and victory was decided by high-volume, controllable fire. The M1 Garand, the weapon that had won the war, was now seen as a product of a bygone era. Its heavyweight, its powerful but hard to control 3006 cartridge, and its limited 8-round en-bloc clip were all liabilities in this new model of warfare. This new philosophy found its champion in Eugene Stoner, an engineer at a small company called Armalite. The AR in AR-15 stands for Armalite Rifle, named after the company that originally designed it. Stoner was not a traditional gunsmith. He was an expert in aviation materials with a background in Marine Corps aviation ordnance. His motivation was to apply the principles of aircraft design, lightweight forged aluminum, and synthetic polymers to a field still dominated by heavy steel and wood. His vision was the Armalite Rifle Model 15. It was a radical departure, chambered for a small 223 caliber high-velocity projectile. But the US Army Ordnance Corps, a conservative institution wedded to the battle rifle concept, rejected it. At the time, the US Army dismissed the AR-15 small caliber cartridge as a varmint round, considering it unsuitable for military service. They chose the heavier, more traditional M14 rifle, a weapon that was essentially an updated M1 Garand. Armalite lacked the resources for mass production, and struggling financially, sold the patent for the AR-15 to Colt's Manufacturing Company in 1959. This was the pivotal moment. Colt was an industrial giant with deep political connections. They would successfully lobby the military to adopt a version of the rifle as the M16. But they had also acquired the patent for the civilian semi-automatic model, a design that would lie dormant for years before it found its true calling. At its core, the AR-15 is a study in aerospace engineering applied to a rifle. Its receivers are forged from 7075 T6 aluminum, an alloy with the strength of steel at a fraction of the weight. Its stock, grip, and handguard are made from advanced composite plastics. This construction makes it dramatically lighter than its predecessors. The mechanical heart is a unique direct impingement gas system. Instead of a heavy piston, a thin tube siphons hot gas from the fired bullet and channels it directly into the bolt carrier group, using the pressure itself to cycle the action. This elegant design sheds weight and reduces moving parts. The rifle is chambered for the 5.56 by 45mm cartridge, a small caliber, high-velocity round. The standard 55-grain bullet travels at over 3,000 feet per second. It was designed to be unstable upon impact, tumbling through soft tissue to create devastating wound channels. While the standard AR-15 is chambered for the 5.56 by 45mm cartridge, the platform's modular design supports a wide range of calibers and configurations, making it highly adaptable to different uses and preferences. This is combined with Stoner's straight-line recoil system. The barrel, action, and stock are on a single axis, directing recoil straight back into the shooter's shoulder and eliminating muzzle climb. This approach was a complete break from traditional rifle design, where the M14 was heavy and difficult to control. The AR-15 was lightweight, ergonomic, and surgically precise. For decades, Colt semi-automatic AR-15 was a curiosity in the civilian market. In a world of traditional wood-stocked hunting rifles like the Remington 700 and the Winchester Model 70, the AR-15, with its black plastic furniture and carrying handle, was seen as an expensive space gun. The 1994 federal assault weapons ban specifically named the Colt AR-15 as a prohibited firearm. The law did not ban the rifle's core semi-automatic function. It banned a list of cosmetic features, including flash hiders, bayonet logs, and telescoping stocks. In response, manufacturers produced compliant post-ban models, but the ban's most significant and unintended effect was to mythologize the rifle, giving it an aura of forbidden power. When the ban expired in 2004, two things happened simultaneously. First, the public's interest in the rifle was at an all-time high. Second, and more importantly, the core patents on the AR-15 design held by Colt had also expired. The floodgates opened. An explosion of manufacturers entered the market, creating a new open-source ecosystem for the rifle and its parts. This fierce competition drove prices down and fueled a wave of innovation. Veterans returning from Iraq and Afghanistan were intimately familiar with the platform and wanted a civilian version. A new generation of shooters was drawn to its modularity, the ability to easily customize every aspect of the rifle. The AR-15 was no longer a niche rifle. It had become a widely used firearm in the United States. As the AR-15 gained popularity, it created a deep schism in American gun culture. It challenged the very definition of what a civilian firearm should be. For generations, the archetypal American rifle was the wood-stocked hunting firearm, a simple, traditional tool for sporting purposes. The AR-15 represented a new paradigm, the modern sporting rifle. As the AR-15 became America's most popular rifle, it also became its most polarizing symbol. For millions, it stands as America's rifle, the modern musket embodying the Second Amendment rights, and a tool for home protection. To others, its dark silhouette is a stark reminder of the nation's deadliest tragedies, a potent emblem of violence and fear. As one historian summarized the paradox, the AR-15 is a mirror. It reflects America's deepest beliefs about freedom and its deepest fears about violence. The rifle's use in high-profile crimes made it the focal point of the American gun control debate. The political battle over the AR-15 is a battle of statistics and definitions. Critics point to its standard 30-round magazine capacity, which allows a shooter to fire many rounds without reloading. They argue that its high-velocity 5.56mm bullet creates wounds far more devastating than a typical handgun. This has led to repeated calls for a new federal ban on what opponents label assault weapons. However, the term assault weapon itself lacks a consistent legal definition. Different laws and jurisdictions define assault weapons based on varying features such as magazine capacity, barrel length, and cosmetic traits. This inconsistency fuels confusion and intensifies the political debate, as what is banned in one state may be legal in another, complicating regulation efforts. Proponents counter that millions of AR-15s are used lawfully for sport and self-defense. They argue that the rifle is functionally identical to any other semi-automatic firearm, firing only one round per trigger pull, and that focusing on cosmetic features overlooks the root causes of violence. The AR-15 became a weapon caught between two irreconcilable positions, a tool of defense used by millions and a weapon of choice in the nation's most horrific crimes. To call the AR-15 a rifle is to understate its true legacy. It is an entire ecosystem. The source of its enduring dominance is its brilliant modularity. The rifle is built on two main components: an upper receiver that houses the barrel and bolt carrier group, and a lower receiver containing the trigger group. In the United States, the lower is the legally serialized firearm component. These two halves can be separated with two simple pins. When Colt's original patents expired, this design created a multi-billion-dollar industry. It allows for the customization of nearly every component from the trigger to the stock, and for a single lower receiver to be paired with different uppers chambered in calibers from the .22 long rifle to the .50 Beowulf. The AR-15 is no longer just a firearm. It is a platform. But its most profound impact is its manual of arms. The placement of the safety selector, magazine release, and charging handle has become the de facto standard, influencing countless other designs and cementing its status as the template for the modern rifle. The AR-15 was never destined to be ordinary. A lightweight aerospace experiment became the blueprint for the modern rifle. In the center of the nation's most emotionally charged battle. To some, it represents independence, preparedness, and the belief that power should rest in the hands of the individual. To others, it represents loss, danger, and the urgent need for reform. Both views are real. Both are part of its story. And that is what makes the AR-15 unique. Not its mechanics, not its modularity, but its ability to embody two completely opposite truths at the same time. Its legacy is not finished. It is still being written every day. In courtrooms, in communities, in gun ranges, and in the national conversation. The AR-15 remains what it has always been. The rifle that divided the country, defined an era, and changed the conversation around guns forever.